Kenya, kwa sababu sasa imekuwa ni kitu ambayo imekuwa ni kama ile cyclic era of redundancy, you know. Leo hii pesa imeibiwa, mtu amekuwa maskini amepelekwa shule, amekuja akakuwa tena maskini nyumbani hapo. Sijui kama kuna watu ambao wanafikiria wao youth kwa njia fulani. Wewe ndio ulikuwa nataka nikuulize hiyo. Kitu kingine nilikuwa nikisema. Wewe kwa sababu wewe umetoka pale chini na umeenda huko juu, umeona sehemu zote uzuri na ubaya.
Yes.
Hebu angalia vile utaweza kuelezea wananchi wa Nairobi mahali unasimama na wananchi wa Kenya, kwa sababu ya baadaye wewe unafikiria kufanyia wao nini kwa njia kubwa ambayo itatoa wananchi kukuwa wanaona kama wamekubali umaskini kama ni pati yao ya maisha, kwa sababu ni makosa sana ukiwa ni kiongozi na unaongoza wananchi ambao ni maskini hawana hope, yani hopeless people. There is no need of being a leader when you're leading very poor people, knowing very well that wewe uko na position ya kusaidia. Fanya hivyo. Hiyo ndio kazi nilikuwa nikikutuma.
Asante sana.
Hata nirudi sasa kwa profesa, alafu tu utaongea kidogo. Profesa.
Yes sir.
Sisi tunasema wewe unajua wewe ni wakili, na sasa kwa sababu wewe ni wakili mimi nauliza, tumeongea maneno ya mauaji, mimi nilikuwa tumeongea hivi, I don't know hata sitaki.
Yes.
Ni nani anahusika? The back of inasimamia nani kwa mauaji kama haya? Kwa sababu ule mtoto anauliwa. Kwanza hebu imagine ile hao watu wa huko ni kwamba they have a lot of tragedies. Tayari amelelewa na maisha ya kimaskini sana. Kwa hivyo imemuondolea hadhi ya maisha. Alafu tena unarudi unamuua hata kama wale ambao wanahusika wawezi hata kuacha tu watu wakae na umaskini, lakini provide security for them. Let them not be killed. Those kids are equally like anybody's kids. It's very painful. Hakuna kiongozi kweli atasimama aseme wao watoto wanauliwa kwa njia gani kweli? Hakuna macho ya mtu yanalenga machozi kwa kuona mchungu. Mtoto amepigwa risasi, mtoto ameweka kidogo hivyo kweli, na huyo mtoto ni sawa na mtoto wako alibebwa miezi 9 kama wewe vile mtoto wako amebebwa. It is very painful. Na kama mimi nasikia tu viongozi wengine wanasema as it was. Sijui kuna mwingine anasemanga as it was. Lakini security kweli has it become very difficult really? I'm surprised kwa sababu it is not very difficult, kwa sababu the cycle of ile era tunasema kwamba kama wale watu wangepatiwa ile kitu inaitwa human dignity. Wakiwa wanachukua kwamba badala mimi niende niue mtu, nitaamka asubuhi, ninaenda nafanya kazi, nitarudi nyumbani na chakula. Lakini sasa tunawaachilia kweli kabisa, with all the money, with all the academicians na wale waperevu sana tuko naye nchi, tunasikia wanatengeneza masabu nchi nyingine, na watu wao wanakufa na kuuliwa hapa tu kwa sababu ya umaskini. Makosa. Binarudi kwako. Sasa sisi tunasema media ndio ilikuwa ya kusaidia wananchi. Sasa media imekuwa captured, na wao wanakuja na njaa yao, they are easily bought. There is nobody atasimama kuuliza mtu, hata wakati unasikia mwanasiasa anapeana story za kipumbavu za kudanganya wananchi, kusema kweli kuchimiwa hapa, kama unasema hivi, hebu tuelezee kidogo, kwa sababu sisi wote Sakaja amesema hapo vizuri sana. Wimbo wa Bomali ilisema you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Okay. Kwa sababu kuna wale ambao utadanganya, lakini tuelezee hapa, wewe mpango wako ni gani wakati unataka kuchaguliwa ofisi fulani? Lakini sasa imekuwa siasa ya saizi na kampeni imetoka idea ya kuelezea watu, kwa sababu imekataa kusimama na kuuliza watu maswali magumu. Imeanza kusema nini? Ni watu gani wako na picha iko na watu wengi? Ni watu gani wanaimba sana? Ni nani anashangiliwa? It has moved. Where are we going back to say in agriculture? Wewe unasema nini? In healthcare wewe unasema nini? Hold them accountable, because this country, people shed blood, people have lost their lives to make this country a better place. Lakini tukifika mahali penye inafika mpaka tunakuja kubaguliwa walai kwa rangi yetu, kwa nchi yetu. All I can say, Bitok, it is your media ndio mnatakiwa kuhold watu responsible na kusema kwamba I can tell you, and I want to, Professor anaweza kuelewa kidogo na kuchanganua pengine nikisema hivi. Our country is very, very porous in all aspects. What do I mean porous? It is porous in that we have allowed kitu kama corruption imekuwa part of it. Part of imekuwa ndani yetu. Because we've allowed it to be, you know, we've allowed all other issues ambazo zinapotea kwa njia mbaya. So, mimi nilikuwa nikipenda pengine kama kuna mtu ataweza kurespond kwa vitu
respond. Hizi kama media sio sisi, wale media sisi ni wale media wengine. Sisi tunangangana hapa na tukuli sponsor ya mtu. Haya, bunge la mwananchi jambo.
Hello.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Niko salama, mimi naitwa Masaki Samuel. Mimi ni mkaji.
Mheshimiwa Masaki Samuel.
Yes.
Wewe ndio ulikuwa unataka kuvuta kazi Sakaja kama senator. Sasa amehama. Sasa amesonga ameenda. Sasa amesonga.
Kitu ni vacant.
Kitu ya kwanza nataka kumcongratulate governor wetu mtarajiwa, Governor Sakaja. Na kuambia kwamba sisi kama vijana tunaenda kumshikilia mkono kwa sababu sisi tunaelewa ile kazi ambayo amefanya. Akiwa senator, nominated MP, we know the work that he has done. So we want leaders who can be able to put everything that they have been able to tell the young people they are going to do to be done. We are not going to accept state project. Unajua kitu moja Bitok, sisi tunaelewa na tumekaa in Nairobi tunaelewa.
Kandarasi za state.
Yes. Unaelewa Bitok? Hakuna vile mtu anaweza toka alitoroka kazi. Alafu anakuja hapa anatuambia anaenda kufanyia kazi. Hiyo haiwezekani. You know, watu wamesoma. And if you go to these villages, hizi slums, kwa sababu sisi tumezunguka tunafanya siasa, they understand this basic thing. We cannot be fooled. And we want to tell governor kwamba vijana wako nyuma yake. Ile kitu ambaye ningemuomba kitu moja, hakikisha kwamba kwa hii serikali ya county government yetu tunaenda kutengeneza, because we know we are going to form this government. Hakikisha ameweka vipaumbele ya miundo msingi ya kusaidia vijana. Kwanza kitu cha kwanza ile ukosefu wa kazi ambayo imeajiri hizi settlement. Ajaribu kuangalia kama anaweza rudishia vijana hizi nafasi zao za kufanya kazi. Especially wale ambao hawana kazi.
Haya. Na ikiwaje tukimbiza simu kidogo kwa sababu watu wako wengi. Jambo. Bunge la mwananchi jambo. Mbio tafadhali nikupa nafasi chini ya dakika moja. Bunge jambo. Haya. Bunge la mwananchi jambo.
Good morning, Bitok.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. This is Timojana from Kakamega, yeah?
Let habari.
First and foremost, I'm a live member. Number two, allow me to echo the words of my good friend Farid there. I'm a medic also. Number three, very incoming governor 047 up.
Yes. Habari ya Kakamega.
One thing I know, Kakamega iko salama sana.
Okay.
Yeah. So one thing I want to just encourage the incoming governor is that I know there is a challenge of city hall, but with the capabilities, super senator right now, I am so sure that some of us who are in other counties, after 5 years, we will be so much interested to work under his leadership. So mine is just to encourage the governor that sisi tunakuombea.
Asante sana.
Wow. Haya. Asante. Bunge la mwananchi jambo. Bunge la mwananchi.
Hello.
Good morning to you. How are you?
Hello,
nakusikia.
Yes, Gerald.
Haya, nakupa nafasi chini ya dakika moja. Kimbiza.
Okay, salamia hapo mheshimiwa.
Mambo vipi?
Poa sana honorable.
Uko sawa?
Salamia wakili.
You morning.
I'm Hilary Kiro from Nandi County, Kasipio. Jambo ni ile salamia mheshimiwa na kutakia mema. Acha nimpe mate yangu mheshimiwa, utapenya hiyo kinyang'anyiro.
Asante.
Haya.
Na ukuje utoe malizana na hiyo maneno ya sijui na metropolitan nini hiyo, maliza hiyo maneno. Jende kienda kabisa.
Haya, bunge la mwananchi, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Leta habari.
Mimi ni Vincent. Napiga simu kutoka Njiru.
Kutoka Njiru.
Kutoka Njiru, na nafurahi kusikia Senator Sakaja kwa studio. Niko na maswali kadhaa kwake.
Uliza.
Kama senator. Amekuwa senator wetu kwa hii miaka 5. Na Nairobi County government ni among the counties pia imekuwa imehusishwa sana na corruption. Na kazi ya senator kwanza ni ku keep the county government in check. Na sisi tunaona pia alianguka mtihani kwa sababu yeye ndiye angekuwa anaweka Sonko bamba tu bamba wakati Sonko anaenda ndio hapa kuna shida. Sasa yeye anataka akuje sasa akuwe gavana wetu. Pia kuna shida nyingine nataka nikuelezee kama mwenye anawania kuwa gavana. Kwamba county government kila siku inashika watu especially kwa hizo ma wine and spirit wakisema kwamba hizo products zinauza pale ni counterfeit. Unapata kwamba hizi ma counterfeit zinatengenezwa pale Kariobangi na zinatengenezwa na Wakenya. Unaona? Then we are arresting Kenyans kwa sababu wamekuja na idea ya on how pia au venye pia wanaweza kuja na lika yao. Mimi kama ingekuwa ni idea yangu, hizo lika zenye Wakenya wanatengeneza hata kama ni legal allow.
Wacha watengeneze.
Kenya.
Sawa. Ayo, kuna swali lingine? Dakika yako moja imeisha.
Swali. Hello.
Dakika yako moja imeisha kaka. Uliza haraka swali yako ya mwisho.
Swali ya mwisho ningeuliza Senator Sakaja. Ni issue ya garbage collection. Hii issue imeemploy so many youth. Unaona pale county government inapatiana tenda kwa mabwenyenge wenye hata wana gari zenye zinaweza beba takataka Nairobi. Hizo gari ziko in bad conditions. So unapata vijana wenye na collect takataka huku ndani wakipeleka kwa boarding.
Haya, wacha tusikie mwingine. 30 seconds. Nafunga simu shortly. Bungala Mwenyeji, good morning.
Morning.
How are you, sir? Yes, mambo vipi?
Doing great. Niko salama. Hapo.
Salama sana, mambo.
Incoming governor. So, Sakaja actually it's my first time to call in a radio. And honestly, this gives me goosebumps when I hear you speak. Honestly, you mean well for Nairobi. I just hope that when you get the opportunity, you get to implement some of these plans you have. But my question is, we are living in a country where cartels have taken over almost everything, not even Nairobi alone. Just now you are going to fight back because they say corruption fights back. And in Nairobi, you see the way people operate at a stage ya matatu iko na mwenyewe. Gari haiwezi beba hapo. I'm just wondering, how are you going to fight this corruption menace and cartels, especially in Nairobi County, where everything is run by its owner. Ukienda hapo City Hall, you're just looking for basic support. The way vile watu inafaa upite through before you get help. It's a whole chain of people you have to give the support. And also, now for you, how will you avert the aspect, for example, of development? Ukiangalia barabara kama where development that government have done, barabara kama Gong Road. You see, they put drainages. They were very bad drainage systems already. Water block zingine zisha collapse. Yet those are some of the projects you see people saying this is our achievement.
Thank you, bro. Aya, simu ya mwisho hii. Bungala Mwenyeji, good morning.
Hey, Jambo Gerald.
Safi.
This is Ambassador Sergeant,
Yes, boss. Mambo vipi?
Salama kabisa.
Bado kwa dunia ya mauliama. Ulienda Australia. Ulirudi Australia?
Congratulations. Niko back sasa.
You went back to Australia,
Yes. Good work first on the studio. It looks all right.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Very clear as well, and the clarity is great. So, my question to Senator Sakaja is that what is his game plan when it comes to the garbage collection? I saw someone there. Yeah. So the entire waste management
system
idea. How is he going to do it? He's elected.
Okay.
And what has he done so far as a senator to push for the same?
Yes.
Because we know the city should be clean. First of all, to attract investors, and secondly, in matters of health for the people living within those areas.
All right.
And another question is, I know the 30 seconds is gone, is the parking issue. I was in Nairobi the other day. Parking is a menace. What is he going to do?
Parking norm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ambassador. Na usalimia watu wa Path. Na ulituacha huko tuachia madola, ulienda bure bwana. Utatoka sasa. Asante, thank you so much.
Asante sana.
Thank you bro. Asante sana. Utaniruhusu nifungie hapo, nifungie bunge hapo kwa sababu masaa pia zinatuacha kidogo. Thank you and apologies for those guys who have been calling and I was not able to pick your calls. Poleni. Haya, nataka kunipe tu dakika moja nisome tu comments, watu wa comments pia hapa usiingie sana. Facebook. Yes, Masi Mueni Kalevi anasema Sakaja is the best choice for Nairobi. Asante Mohabdu. My governor mbele pamoja Nairobi inaonekana kashi. Haya, Tim Kips Ronald bwana anasema Sakaja the best people's finest choice. Masi anasema Sakaja pamoja hadi kwa debe. Willie Collins Miso CK anasema what is Sakaja's plan for the first 100 days in office? David Brian Mwange, water shortage and the issue of private water buzzers and cartels at City Hall. How does he plan to stop this? Jane Mombe, dirty roadside markets vibandaskis kunaendaje? Haya, Miguel Joseph anasema this guy deserves the seat. Tuambiane tu kweli. Haya, Martin la mami sema just joined. What's Sakaja's plan on NMS? Amesema hawezi rudisha NMS hata if the cows come and move. City Hall. Dennis Semi Barasa anasema okay, I've seen that. James Miller anasema my governor, asante. David Brian Mwanga anasema huyo alikuwa sounds like yeye ni supplier ama transporter. Yes, anasema governor ni Sakaja. Bruce Lee anasema ni cartel, they can come up with their own brand. Okay. All right, I think I've seen some WhatsApp messages here as well. Niliona hapa kuna mtu amesema I have nothing to say about Madharau Day. Anyway, the president is behaving funny. His advisors are advising him wrongly. Soon he'll go after Ruto on this. A man can plan, but God has his own plans for the purpose of his people. George Busolo from Burutana. Msononi anasema Bitok, please do small clips of Sakaja with captions tuzifuate after show. Because huyo mwami point zake ni mengi tu sana. I don't even know which to ask, which question to ask, which to pepeta and which to leave. Wako sawa sana, by the way. I'm in love with him all over again. And tell him to follow your page on FB Maradis. Sakaja is brilliant.
Yes, thank you.
So umesikia umefuata page ama ulikuja kasa.
Sakaja can walk on water.
Acha nichukue simu moja ya diaspora.
One day I saw him walk on water.
But there's no water in Nairobi.
Keja ndugu yangu vipi?
Sema.
Wewe ndio nimesema tu nichukue kwa sababu watu wa diaspora acha tuwape heshima kidogo.
Okay, sawa. Okay, Sakaja.
Yes sir.
Random Laibon hapa.
Oh, Laibon, asante. Oh, ni mtu alisoma Lenana.
Okay.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah, we call each other Laibon.
Okay, swali yangu ni nini? There's a lot of diasporans who are traveling back and they work a lot there. Lakini when you're looking for opportunities in Nairobi, like for example, looking for contracts na nini, wazungu always preferred more than us. So most of us have to look for wazungus to France for us.
Okay.
So what are you going to do about that?
Okay.
Kwa sababu, yes, because you talked about uliongea juu diasporans, everybody who's doing a lot of stuff out of the country, but you want to come and do it there. So what is your strategy for pulling some of these talents that we are out here?
Okay. Haya, asante sana ndugu yangu.
My question. Ndio tukuje so that we can come and invest.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of us.
Thank you. Barikiwa zaidi. Haya, mheshimiwa, nakupa dakika zako back to back 18. I think 18 minutes.
Asante. Because there are many questions. Kwanza ningependa kuwashukuru wote ambao wamepiga simu, wale ambao wametuma ujumbe kwa Facebook, na wale ambao wanasikiza na hawajaongea. Kuna pia many silent listeners.
Internalize the gospel.
The ones who are looking and wondering what we're talking about. I'm grateful because hata nafasi tu ya kuzungumza na wananchi wetu, you must not take it for granted. So thank you for listening. Nimesikia zile maswali ambazo zimeulizwa. What I'll start with, wacha nianze na ile ambayo labda jamaa alisema mimi ndio to blame. Then I come to the solutions. Kama kazi ya senator, what I have been able to do as a senator. Ni ukweli kazi ya senator ni oversight. You must oversight the county government. Ni muhimu kama senator pia uwe una legislate and represent when issues come. I can give a very brief summary of the scorecard because I was working with with what was available as a senator. I brought legislation. I've been ranked the best performing senator thrice by mzalendo.org, who they look at the contributions, the bills, and whatnot 3 times. When I was in the National Assembly, I had the highest number of bills. In fact, my sister was describing to me that the thing she can say is that I always understand the assignment and perform the assignment. That when I was chair of TNA, at a young age, I knew the assignment is to win. And came up with a team, formed a party called TNA, we won. Nikaenda National Assembly, my assignment was to legislate. I had the highest number of bills nikafanya in the Senate. And I will just give a few examples. Then niseme what happened with Sonko. The most important one, which in Najibu PLS wali ya vijana wetu, was when I brought the bill on AGPO. 30% procurement opportunities for women, youth, and persons with disability. Watu wengi wajui, I am the one who brought that bill to Parliament. The first time it was sent back, and I insisted to kapitisha. Counties are not implementing it. The national government is not implementing it. But we brought it, and we've been trying to push implementation. I sponsored and formulated the National Employment Authority Act, which is now, there's even an institution that is dealing with the issues of employment locally, internationally. You've seen what's happening in Saudi Arabia. Umeona ile mambo inafanyika na vijana wetu. Of course, they're not doing everything I wanted them to do. Because part of it ilikuwa kuwa na database ya kusema kila mtu ambaye anatafuta kazi. You go to your Huduma Center, you give your details, documents zako, iwe hapo. So if someone wants to come and employ, you can just check there. I need to know how many geologists are in Taita Taveta. Vijana wangapi wamefanya nursing in Nairobi. Ama wangapi, how many cobblers. You don't have that information. There is no policy maker today ambaye atakwambia how many unemployed teachers there. Or how many unemployed, whatever sector, cameramen, people who are in digital. That was what they were forced to do. Because you cannot solve a problem without having information. You need information around it. And our biggest challenge ni ukosefu wa ajira na ukosefu wa kazi. On top of that, nika create hapo walikuwa na board ambapo on that board of the National Employment Authority you have of course foreign affairs because of international jobs. Kenya is a labor exporter. All these Kenyans in diaspora are there and we are valued for Kenyan resilience, our English, our ability to connect. Uko na foreign affairs, uko na Ministry of Labor, you have the Federation of Employers, an association of manufacturers. Then you have the universities and technical institutions. Waangalie database, waseme sasa, 90% of wale hawana kazi, wamesoma hii course. Mbona mnaendelea kufunza hii course? Now employers na manufacturers wanasema, us what we want in the job market in the next 5 years is this course. So you start changing the skills matching, the skills that you're giving to what the market needs. Because many people are in university and colleges today are just postponing unemployment. Wanafunzwa vitu ambayo haitakikani, haitajiki. I will not mention those courses, but you're just postponing this person's unemployment. So lazima huo umematch what the industry needs, what the trends are in the next 5, 10, 15 years. And that is the advice. So anyway, that is one of the things I created. I'm proud that the institution is there. Disaster Risk Management Bill, nime-sponsor startup bill for all of these tech startups that are coming up in this country. Prompt payment bill, kuhakikisha suppliers wanalipwa in the correct time, not just in the public sector, but also in the private sector. Legislative proposal on national school lunch, what I explained about feeding the children. Vitu mingi. Oversight and representation, of course, increasing Nairobi revenue from 15 to 19 billion. Artists kupata better skiza tunes. I'm the one who started that fight in 2015 with Bob Colimo and the president. They were getting sick. Mtu anaimba mziki yake, and the creative arts is a frontier for employment. Unaimba skiza tuni yako, out of shilingi moja, you get less than 16%. Out of 100 shillings, shilingi 5 ndio inaenda kwa musician.
Wengine wanalamba hiyo.
Sijui Huawei, sijui Safaricom, sijui Tax. Everyone else was getting more than ule ambaye ni skiza tuni yake. And skiza tune is the biggest place our musicians are making money today. That's why skiza was mambo ya piracy. They don't care about piracy yet. Kutoma CD na makaset. It is digital. So we've lobbied for it. Now we've come to 41%, and I'm pushing for it to hit 50% before the election. And ideally, we can do that. Kumekuwa na regulations on importers. Kule Nyamakima, kule Du Bois traders, Kamkunji. I'm the one who stopped it. And I interacted with them. Nilipeleka Nzioka waita mtu state house control, chief of staff. I took him mpaka Nyamakima akae asikize hao watu. Tukapeleka kwa rais. Because walikuwa wanakuja wanapiga watu wafanyabiashara wetu wanasema hii kitu unauza ni counterfeit. Na mtu anauza vuvuzela. How can a vuvuzela be counterfeit? Vuvuzela. Ama duvet.
Hata unaweza puliza na mdomo.
How can a duvet be counterfeit? Inafunika mtu. It's a traditional instrument. But these people are doing trade. So the bulb I'm selling might not be Philips. But inawaka. Na kuna mtu anataka hiyo bulb ya shilingi 50. Wewe uza yako hii bei. So we've tried to get an understanding. As long as you've not mislabeled it. And that's why that guy of Wines and Spirits nilikuwa namwambia hii Kariobangi Waters ni sawa, lakini wasituambie ile yenye wametengeneza ni Jameson. Waseme tu hii ni Kariobangilika ukitaka na ina taste hivi.
Unakunywa na ni pesa
hivi. But sasa ukisema this is Jameson fake bana 5,000. Because and you see the reason we have a bureau of standards. People can even lose their lives if we don't check the quality of those things. So usiseme ndio ni sawa na ni Wakenya wanatengeneza. Let's build it to eat hii ni Kariobangi Waters ama to eat Kenyan names.
Kuna mtu aliniuzia nyama ya punda.
Ulijua ile ya punda.
I felt it.
Yeah. So I dealt with that issue. I dealt with there was a ban on importation of used car spare parts. Watu Kinyaga road traders nikaleta kwa Senate. So I've done all that work. Sonko himself I took to court. Not once, not twice. Because you unaleta vitu kwa Senate, resolution natoka na hakuna kitu inafanyika. I stopped the thing of the ban of matatus. Wakati sasa akakuwa impeached, of course we had to do what had to happen. And the people asked, why did you abstain? And I say, that is a vote. I would vote again like that. Because to abstain, you have to press that button. It's a choice. You either press yes, no, or abstain. And these are the reasons. The tradition in the Senate is when there's a matter concerning your county, you let other people deliberate, you give your views, but you do not make a vote because of conflict of interest. Everybody knew I want to be governor. Nikasema yes, aende, inamaanisha I'm trying to kick somebody who's down, ndo atoke. Nikisema no, inamaanisha I am accepting what he has been doing. Of course, the threshold of evidence is lower in the Senate. It's not a court of law. It's above balance of probabilities, lower than a reasonable doubt. So it is not si kitu ati unaweza funga mtu nayo, but it's a political court. It's a political court. So that's how we chose, na ikaendelea namna hivyo. But I did my part in terms of oversight. Oversight haiko ile ya kupiga ngumi kwa ukuta kama vile alikuwa anafanyia Kidero. Oversight was raising issues on audit queries. I've raised it. There's no senator who's raised issues on their county more times than me, and you can check the answer of the Republic of Kenya. So that is the answer of what has been happening. The question of garbage collection, watu wengi wameuliza. The problem is this. Garbage collection has been commercialized to be a very opaque business in Nairobi County that has no oversight. Ambapo, unapea makampuni lots. Wamepatiwa section hii, section hii, section hii. Wanalipwa kwa kulingana na the kilos the truck is weighed at Dandora dam site. That is the wrong way to do it. Haujui kama hiyo takataka ameleta Dandora dam site imetoka kwa area yake. And no one is oversighting it. Yes. So wanachukua hapo around. In fact, wengine wanaeka maji kwa hizo truck zao, wanaongeza kwa takataka, they go, they do many trips. So the first thing that we're going to do to help us tackle this, of course, is that structure of the barrows. That the garbage around this area is managed in this area. It is only that it is removed to a central dump site. And the reason for a central dump site is that now we can produce energy, electricity. Nairobi, Nare, light. Dandora dump site can do it. Just the lighting. All our street lights will be lit from that Dandora dump site. The problem has been political goodwill. Na juzi nimekuwa kanisa AIPC Dandora, the MP alisema ni sawa, the MCS, so immediate. There are many people who want to do it. Ubaya zile serikali zingine mtu anakuja na idea, wanasema nipatie kwanza 60 million yangu. Nipe kwanza 50 million ndio ufanye hii project. It's for the benefit of our people. I went to a place in Canada. I was taken there by some friends. Kuna mahali, the dump in Toronto is bigger than Nairobi. Toronto is bigger. Hakuna inzi, hakuna harufu. Because how they treat that garbage, once it comes in, it is recycled in, apeleko hapa, and they produce. We can produce fertilizer. We can produce plastics. We can produce things for even our signage. So vijana wetu watakuwa wanafanya aggregation through their companies, mitaani, because you've talked about how do we give them hope. They'll do aggregation through their companies. wakizileta in central places every single day. I grew up in Nairobi ambapo ulikuwa na ile kamero takataka ilikuwa inachukuliwa unajua twice a week inakuja ilikuwa inaitwa kamero in Nairobi in the 80s and 90s. Hapa nao walikuja baadaye kuharibu. Before, let me tell you, the city used to be washed with water and soap. The streets. We can bring that back once we step down that devolution. So let's kwanza tusikubali ni sawa kuwe na takataka kila mahali. No. And then also I must do my part. And I'll do my part as a governor by providing the systems ya kuokota. I'll provide bins. Say unatembea hata unajua mahali ya kutupa takataka. You provide those bins. But even you as a Nairobian now play your part by putting your trash in the right place. Siwezi kuwa nayo takataka yote unapata mtu from matatu anatupa karatasi nje, throwing banana peels outside. Let us all play our role, but it is my responsibility to do it. So we'll deal with that. Now the issue of water, or do I go to that last? Because
I think water is very important.
Amezungumza mambo ya open sewer, sanitation. All of that has to do with water. Water is very important. Now Nairobi, and natapeleka watu pole pole ili waelewe ile shida ambayo tuko nayo. Nairobi has 4 water sources. Yeah? The first water source for Nairobi is Kikuyu Springs. Kikuyu Springs was developed in 1907. It provides 1% of our water. Its capacity is just 4,000 cubic meters. But that was the first source of water uko near the Kikuyu University, the campus, Kikuyu campus, hapo chini. It still brings it, but 1%. The second one that was developed was Ruiru Dam. That is 1936. Okay. But Ruiru Dam, which comes now all the way from Githunguri, Kabete, the treatment plant at Kabete, hiyo inatoa 4% of our water. Okay. After Ruiru Dam, now we have the biggest one, which was done. First of all, Sasamua, also naisemanga vibaya. Kwambia ni Sasamua kwa Kiluya, but they call it Sasamua. Iko Njabini. That one gives us around 11%. Okay. 61,000 cubic meters, inakuja, treatment plant. And the final one, our biggest source today, is Ndakaine, Muranga, ama Thika Dam. It's called the Ngethu Gigiri system. That is 84% of our water. All of that is Kikuja Nairobi, give us 525 million liters of water per day. We need 850 million liters of water per day.
So we are short by almost.
So we are short by 300,000, so to speak. Almost half. So now that 300,000, the first thing we must do, because the last exploration of our water source in Nairobi was 1997, on the third upgrading of Ndakaine. We must explore new sources. And that's why the Northern Collector Tunnel is very important. Because hiyo, itatuongezea another 140 million liters per day. A bridge your gap in terms of the quantity. So the first problem of Nairobi is the quantity. Now that one will end in 2023. So no matter what we do in terms of that project, the quickest it can end on course, because the 94% of the tunnel is done, but 30% of the piping of the pipeline is what has been done. So there's still some time, and we're really pushing national government kutusaidia na hiyo. Baada ya kufanya hiyo, we'll have to do Northern Collector 2, which will be 2028. So the first problem of water is the quantity that comes in. The second issue then now becomes a distribution. From where it comes in, there are areas in this city that still have no piping. I'll give you an example. Ile nye natoka pande ya Kabete to the Gigiru treatment plan. There's one, for instance, there's one pipe, 1.2 meters in diameter. Inatoka hapo, KIST, Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology, Starehe Girls, USIU, Roysambu, Kamiti Road, KU, Kahawa, Mwiki, Tunjiru, Ruai. Uko chini, hakuna maji. Kabisa. If you open, there is nothing. There are areas in Nairobi that have never even had pipes. If you move from Karen, this side of Ngando, now is when we're now doing the piping. So the distribution system also must be done and must be maintained. But this is where the challenge came in. Wakora, wakaingia. Wakasema sasa, sisi tunaweza funga maji in this and these areas. So unapata actual physical levels closed in some areas. Mtu amejenga kibanda hapo, it's locked. No one knows hapo ndio imekatika. Water bowsers zinatoa maji hapo. We have 43% non-revenue water in Nairobi. Non-revenue. Out of this 525,000 we're getting, 43% inaibwa.
Hiyo ndio bowsers.
So bowsers mingi zinachukua hapo. Mingi ni boreholes. Many are doing it properly. But zingine ni hiyo mambo ya bowsers. So what we're going to do is use SCADA. You know SCADA technology ineko kwa pipeline ambayo system uko nayo. Mimi kama governor naangalia simu yangu naona maji imefungiwa hapa Mwiki.
Mali imenyonywa.
Exactly on the map you can see. SCADA technology. And the partners who've been willing to give it to us. I don't know why there's been any resistance. Naona ni Langata. Why does Langata have water problem all this time? Ni kufungwa. Sengine, unajua wakiamua kufungua inafunguka maji tena kila mahali. But we need to maintain that. And after that, now when we think Nairobi of 20-30 years, other sources will have to be developed. Northern Collector Terminal, Tunnel 2, now from Maragua River will have to be done. Then we'll have to even ultimately go to Aberdares and Mount Kenya. Now the other issue is boreholes. Water harvesting and boreholes. Now the NMS did a good job. Walitengeneza boreholes kadhaa ambazo zilikuwa zinafaa kupatia wananchi maji. Zingine hazifanyi because of human error. Unapata pump nini, but we'll make sure it is done properly. So these areas where, for instance, I sat with the Ngando landowners and we discussed the issue of piping zimefanywa lakini maji hajaletwa. So these are boreholes tuwapatie iingie kwa hiyo system, because wanasema there's no dignity kwenda kubeba mitungi kila saa. Mmejaza mitungi, everyone, if you look at the front of people's houses, ni mitungi. Yet the piping system has been done. So I've said I agree with that. I'm pushing Muguna of Nairobi Water to allow us to do that in those areas that the piping has already been done. But it is to sort out, so the issue of the quantity that's coming in, the management, the governance, and that system. I want to tell Nairobians, by the time we're finishing our term, because we cannot serve 62% of our cost now, by the time we're finishing, we'll have brought those served to 85% in the first term. By the second term, we'll have fulfilled all water requirements in the city. There'll be a tap in every household of running water. You can't have 70% of Nairobians who have never had top-down shower ni bottom-up. Higher. The next question, and I've just given a summary on water. I can give you details, including the pressure and the diameter of the pipes. I've studied this thing because it is very important for me. And not to make false promises. Chizi ambayo watu wa Nairobi nikikuwa governor, by 2 months kila mtu atakuwa na maji. Hakuna.
Tapu ya chai.
Ati pia tapu tutakuwa ya kingine ya chai ya Waluya. Nyumba za Waluya zitakuwa na tapu ya chai. No, but I want to tell them that we will have an administration of honesty and working with the people, communicating to the people. Watu wengi Nairobi ile kitu nimesema leo hawajawahi sikia. Na hawajui mbona hatuna maji. You know. Now the issue of then sewerage system comes along with that, because you must do the sewerage in line with the water. There's the entire place of Ruai sewerage. Some of it had been grabbed. It has been reclaimed. We need to make sure that that termination is done properly. There are people who have done a tender, more than $1 billion, just because they wanted pipes. They were advised by the people of Nairobi Water that this pipe is not compatible with our system. Waka insist. Vile wamekuja wamezileta kila kitu ikapasuka because of corruption. So just having a corrupt free. And that comes to the question of this guy who's asked me, what was City Hall ambao unaambiwa karatasi hii toke hapa, karatasi ingine. Yesterday I was in a place called Cultivar. And one of the guys who's the manager there, akona wines and spirits Buruburu. Akaniambia nililipia hii license in January of 2022. Nimepata the license actually in May, because watu wanataka 20k hapa, peleka hapa. I told him what we're going to do in Nairobi is this. One, we must reorient all our staff. Na najua wengi wananisikiza. We must change our attitude towards business. Kazi yetu ni ku encourage and to build business, sio kufinyilia. Kazi ya Kanjo si kufukuza hawkers. Sio kwenda kufunga biashara. Unaenda kwa biashara leo, mtu anakuja anakuuliza wapi fire license? Yeah, 4,500. Unalipa 4,500 for fire license, you're given a piece of paper, as if that will help you in the event of a fire. It will be fodder for the fire. After fire kuna mwingine wa food and health. Kuna mwingine anasema hao wanaambiwa you must have a plastic dustbin, yet they use their cartons because the idea is just to collect the trash. So number one, we'll have only one license in a business. Even if the other statutory requirements, GMCSK, PRSK, mimi ndawalipa kama governor. But any business in Nairobi will have one license with a QR code, and the inspection officers, there will be one designated officer in an area. Si ati leo huyu anakuja, kesho ni mwingine, after 2 hours ni mwingine wa maji, mwingine anakuja, because you are harassing businesses. So we must reorient our thinking towards business. Huo mtu akaanza kuja kwa duka yako ni kukuuliza, Bitoka, biashara iko aje? How do we help you do better? Shida iko wapi kwa duka yako? Tusaidie. Sio tu fine. Una uniform ukitafuta makosa. Right now if you look at me, ukiamua utafute makosa utapata hii sweater sijui. You will always find a mistake. I will encourage my staff, and we'll have to reorient because it's culture change. If we build these businesses, we will raise revenue. Hii mambo ya KRA collect revenue Nairobi na GSU itaisha. You cannot have KRA going around with GSU waneka wa mama kwa hizi this tetanus filled contraptions that are all unroadworthy. Uneka wa mama ndani because of 50 shillings in the market. You cannot do that. You can't. You need to. President Kibaki, is a hero. He used to say kulipa ushuru ni kujitegemea. He'd explain to us the value. Kenya revenue went up. 93% of our budget was coming from our taxes. Hakuna pesa ya mzungu ilikuwa nalipa school fee, mwalimu, ama daktari, ama kunua dawa. But see now when you're using policing to collect taxes, force. When Sonko was governor in Nairobi, before NMS, we were collecting 12 billion, 11 billion. Today, KRA, when they took over, they have not gone beyond 8 billion. Wow. And you're saying this...
Even with the military?
Yes, with the military. Because wanaambiana, ujamali naambia wanaambiana. Wakiingia, for instance, Buru Phase 1. Si wako kwa WhatsApp groups. Duka zote zingine mpaka wanafunga. Of course, they'll start with Phase 5. So wanafunga. So mnaenda hasara. You're strangling the goose that lays the golden egg. So we must reorient our attitude. We want a pro-business Nairobi. Pro-business. That if you have an idea, you know you can thrive. This is a land of opportunities. That's why we're saying a city of order and dignity, hope and opportunities. Ama vijana wetu ambao wanasema wako na shida. What we're going to do, sinileta hiyo sheria AGPO, ambao brought it. We're going to help them form those companies and those circles. Every ward in Nairobi will have a 50 million shilling fund per year for businesses. Na sio kupeana na tina MC ama na nani. It is us who are going to identify properly with the community and the area resident associations. Hawa vijana wanafanya kazi ya chipo. Hawa ni kaosh. Young people don't want their solution to just be cautious. They want to be like you, Chris. They want to have a studio. The guys who have talent. Once they portray that, we have community-owned enterprises, which we're going to do. 50 million a year, once we raise our revenue. Because with my DG tumesema, our target is to take Nairobi revenue up to 50B. And it is possible. When we increase compliance, especially mambo ya rates and whatnot, we can increase it. Once you increase the revenue, it will be 100 million per ward. We can do it. You can't have a budget where more than 90% of it is emoluments and creation and trips. No, we have to reorganize it so that we give those young people hope. The biggest threat in this country of security is not Al-Shabaab or Al-Qaeda. It is millions of disillusioned, disengaged young people with ideas, with
broken dreams.
But broken dreams.
It's a valley of broken dreams.
Let me tell you, I tell these young guys, ukiniangalia mimi ni kijana kama nyinyi naambianga hivyo. Ni vile nilipata nafasi. I got an opportunity. My work is to create opportunity for you people in the area of talent. So there are many questions about our diaspora, but they are very important. Part of what we're going to do, to sort out these challenges in Nairobi, whether it is infrastructure or whatnot, we need a whole lot of money. Now that money cannot be found by that revenue share. Yenye nakuja the trickle down. Yes, 15 billion now, move to 19. That leo control of budget anatoa kesho atoi. It cannot be sorted out by what we're collecting only. We have to be very innovative. We have to partner with the diaspora, with partners out there, PPPs. We're going to have an infrastructure bond for Nairobi. We say this one is for mass transit, guaranteed by the national government. Kenyans out there.
Yes, let Kenyans
buy into the Nairobi infrastructure bond for this, and know it's for this project and it is for this specific project. Si kama Eurobond ilikuja tujui imetumiwa na nini. This will be now, this is for Nairobi rail system. Put your money and you invest in it. And we'll have a diaspora desk. Not because we are foreign affairs as one of our functions, but because Nairobi is a global hub. There are people out there who know Nairobi more than the name Kenya.
Yes.
We want to create a vibe about what Nairobi is. You must create the spirit of this city. That diaspora desk will deal with our Kenyans out there who want a way in to work with us and to give them information. You must have at the touch of a button. This is what it takes when you land in Nairobi. This is how to start a business. This is how to get a taxi. This is how to get a plumber. All of that using technology that Njoroge Mushiri, my DG, is going to be also in charge of. So there are many things. I know time is running out. I don't know whose question I've not answered. Mambo ya harassing nimesema. We have to, of course, the county must be kept in check. And that's why I hope I get a senator who can also be able to do that. I'm grateful to Sema Tinyota Ikoju as a youth. I care about these young people and I want to give them opportunity. And I tell people, if kama mimi nimezaliwa Ngara, nimesoma Kenya from nursery to university. In fact, the only school yenye nimesoma ya nje has been by correspondence with the University of London. That's the only one I've ever done that is not here. Zote zingine, undergrad ya kwanza ya pili yote hapa, Nairobi. So I'm telling, kama mimi nimetoka Ngara, nimeishi mitaa, nimeishi kwa hizi chum, I can have made it. We can also make it. So I tell people, let's look at Nairobi, not in terms of what it has always been, with the ills and the challenges, not in terms of what it has always represented, but in terms of what it must be, and a cross-party divide. And I'm glad our friend has noticed that. Ojonga amesema, because mimi naambianga wa Kenya, nenda huko nauliza watu wa Nairobi, hapa kuna pothole ya Wajaluo, kuna njaa ya Mkikuyu, kuna ukosefu wa maji ya Wakamba? Is there a lack of jobs for only the Kisis? Our problems are the same, no matter where we come from in this city. The same pain Mama Njeri feels when she can't feed a child is the same pain Mama Acheng is feeling. So siasa ya kutugawanyisha. So wanasema ndio governor. Naambia vyama ni ngapi? Vyama ni mingi, la governor ni mjamo.
Governor ni mjamo.
So siasa safi cuts across, and that's how Nairobi is.
All right, Ojwang, very brief comments.
Very brief.
In less than a minute.
I am glad we are talking about consumer rights.
Yes.
Not just building hospital and infrastructure, but consumer rights too. We know very well part of the commodification and thingification of water was done by Martha Karua with the World Bank. It was a big debate, but she privatized and came with the issue of selling water. She need to carry that cross. Every time you are thirsty, look at Martha, Mama Bomba, and ask her, Mama, I'm thirsty. Because she is the one who commodified, thingified water in this town when she was the minister for water. I cannot forget. Moving on, Honorable Sakaja, we're talking of dignity, toilets.
Yes.
Imagine if you have no money, you can't use toilet in the city.
If you don't have money.
What kind of a place is that? And when the guy was talking about the cartels, I started imagining this fight will start with reclaiming the toilet. Imagine the toilet. Kuna jamaa naishi whether it is Runda, but toilet zake ndio tunatumia hapa.
Wanaokota like 120,000 a day.
Imagine
some of those toilets.
Yeah. So imagine so that this problem of add more sign usikojoe hapa. If you just give us enough toilet, you not need those signs. Ukikojoa hapa utachapwa kofi, and you always find those places where. Because where do I get my money? Utasabwa kofi we mjinga we. Jaribu one. People still do it. Because you find that water goes against gravity in this city. The more money you have, the more water you have. You go to some quarters, wako na sprinklers, wako na nini. You go to some quarters, they are thirsty. So water swim against money or against gravity. And it need to be well done.
And you know what people are buying from those water bowsers? Mtu hapo Kibera Makangware is paying 50 times more for water than the person getting it in his tap in Muthaiga and in Karen and in Dunda.
It is.
50 times more.
And if you look at World Health Organization, it gives the amount of water somebody needs for their dignity as a household.
Yes.
Do you know that, to be clean, to be healthy, do you know that a typical household use more water flushing their toilet than a household in Kibera uses to consume it, shower, and everything. Somebody else uses more in their bathroom flushing than somebody else. So water swim against gravity. Finally, I think that I like what Sakaja is saying. Where is it written that for me to have a bond or to be part of investment, I have to be a billionaire?
Yes.
So that you find...
I have to be a foreigner.
Yes. So you find like in London, what happened in one of the boroughs, they realized, no, this money must remain here, not just the project. So that they formed cooperatives for tenders. Let me bring my 100,000, 100,000 tukichanga pamoja. If we are Nairobians, then let us now tender for this road. That money inatujenga, barabara pia imebaki. Instead of mtu ametoka huko, sisi tunatembea kwa tamak, hatuna pesa sasa ya kulipia hiyo gari, at all we see is the black road. Yes. So there is the cooperative pool of tender that I like, and that has happened and worked very well in some cities. Finally, I think I like this debate because I think, to be honest, it is not so much about bringing all the answer or Sakaja having all the answer. Just raising the right questions. Yes. As a teacher, to me, questions are more important than answers because I am seeing people coming with answers for the wrong questions. But if you ask the right question, then you'll obviously, even if you fumble, get the right answer. So we need to ask the right questions. But finally, to wish Kalonzo happy anniversary. As you know, 10 years of marriage with Jacom. They are celebrating the anniversary today. And, and so, from my heart, it has been a good marriage. You know, it has been a perennial running mate, isn't it? And so, with the perenniality of his running mate, he has stuck to that marriage, and they are going to renew their vow and confirm that nothing, no force on earth or hell or heaven
can come in between.
you, babe. I admire that.
I got marriage. You, man.
That marriage is strong, and finally, the binge debt that the president was trying to justify. It is addiction. It is a bad addiction. You cannot gaslight us to what the debt has done to us. Right now, the dollar is
116.
Yes, because of the debt.
Actually, 121. Right, it was 121 the other day.
When you import, you can't bastardize and insult our intelligence. When you import, you know that we are buying dollars, this thing at very high prices. You know very well that foreign exchange is all-time low, or shilling has depreciated. So you cannot talk yourself through these bad manners of saying, na wengine wanasema, oh yeah, I said it, come to me, stop borrowing. This debt have not helped us. You should have tackled in Madaraka Day the cost of living. You chose not to. This personalization of power must stop. Let us build institutions. Let us build structure. For, I think, Nairobians and Kenyans are not children of a lesser God. Let it not be that somebody else have all by dispossessing and somebody has none.
All right. Your tackle of the day.
I keep saying,
Mheshimiwa Sakaja. Your tackle of the day here is your punch of the day.
What is tackle of the day, actually?
Your tackle of the
Start
day.
with him, so I get it. Because I just wanted to add from what is said at the end, that there is enough for everybody's need, but not enough for everybody's greed.
That's your tackle of the day.
I think that is a tackle of my day.
Of course, thank you so much, Mheshimiwa.
Let's make Nairobi work.
Let's make Nairobi work. All right. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for coming in and going to have this conversation with us. I hope you enjoyed being with us. Even with the smell of paint. It is working. Nairobi is working.
Nairobi is working.
It's a workshop. It's working.
And we're soon going to do our Nairobi Economic Forum, where we're bringing in the people at the top, people who do this construction. Na wale kijana wa mtaa. To show how that kijana can actually, who ambao wa huruma, comes in with the contractor who's building houses. You know, so please make sure that you attend just to listen to the ideas in the Nairobi, the bottom-up economic forum.
This guy needs this with your peanut dreams. You need to...
Because
walking here with peanut dreams.
Because when you say it's bottom-up, we don't say it's not bottom versus up. It's bottom-up. We want to raise it. It's not versus up. It is not the walo kochini against those.
It's harmonious.
It is harmonious.
For reigning the hustle anxiety. Because I've seen people are catching anxiety and fever.
It is not bottom versus up. It is for all of us. On Saturday, we have a huge rally on Kamkunji grounds, where we're going to be celebrating. The deputy president will have taken his papers to run for president. The people who said he'll never be on the ballot, let them see us on Saturday. I'll also be presenting mine on the same day. So tukue hapo kabisa.
But before you end the show, these people don't look at me as a good politician.
You're an amazing politician.
Invited in those hata mimi nishike mic.
You are invited. Ojong, you are invited by
I told you I really like how you think, because we are seeing many things the same way. I really like that. And we need to hear more of you.
Umpe kibarua.
Kabisa.
Unajua kijana wangu na nilikuwa namtafutia kibarua. Chika ya mkono.
He has amazing ideas.
He's an amazing guy. We've been here doing this and having these conversations every single day. More, we appreciate that you made time and coming.
Thank you.
Wish you all the very best.
Nikimbia nyama kima sasa.
Na sisi pia will tokweka hapa kwa hapa.
Please.
Ukifika hapo tunakweka tunakutackle kabisa kwa hapa. All right guys, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for making time and staying with us. For those guys who have sent in messages and as well who has been on the comment section, who has stayed and watched us all along, and those guys who have called. It's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure having you. And I tell you this, the tackle can never be without you. Without you guys who keep waking up every day to watch us, we could never be. And this is a tackle and it ends now. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.